And it finally came to fruition when I set goals. And I think as a former financial advisor, I sat down with hundreds of families and businesses over every, probably thousands. And it was shocking to me how many people didn't have like financial goals. They just saved and spent, blindly put money in their 401k, didn't know what that meant, and didn't know how much money you had. Like 95% of people didn't have a plan. And what I realized was like, I didn't have a plan for my life. I was just going through, just surviving, having fun. Don't get me wrong, I was an idiot at one point in my life, and I had probably too much fun. But I was just going through and like, checking the boxes. And it was at that point when I decided to have my eat, pray, love moment from my financial services industry to say, what do I want? And then probably more importantly, why do I want it? And so what I found was I really was missing a plan and a guide and accountability. And so what I did is I set goals, and I sat down and set these goals from about a year out to 3 years out to 5 years out. And what is incredible to me, and again, this is something, a recommendation or just my experience, by all means, not a guarantee, but what I found is most of those goals came true once you put focus on it and effort and energy. And I think what I found was the big reason why I left financial services, because I really wanted to have a family, and I really wanted to have a partner in life, and I couldn't figure out why I couldn't figure that out while I was living in San Francisco. It was because I was working 70 hours a week, and I was stressed out, and I didn't have healthy habits, and I wasn't doing good things. So I made the extreme decision to cut that off, focus on myself, and then I was very fortunate to find my wife now. And it all worked out. And then professionally, I was able to sit down and say, okay, I want to join a company that cares about people, that has smart people, in an industry that gives a shit about people. And I was very fortunate, and again, timing, luck, whatever, to find Google. I was the second person they ever hired on contract that didn't have a technical background. And it was amongst 125 or 130 people back then, and I don't know if they still do this, but they stack ranked the whole organization in sourcing. And I'm sure you've heard this story before, but I'll go quickly. Like after the first quarter, I was second to last place. I thought they were going to let me go. I'm sure they were like, why the hell did we hire this kid? What I did is I started setting these goals and started measuring. You guys know that story, but I was able to work my way up to be second place every quarter thereafter. And what I found was I set these goals. So it's like I didn't want to convert at Google. I didn't not want to not work at Google. I know it's like a double negative, but it was like I flipped it on its head. I didn't want to have to go back to my mom and tell her I didn't work at Google because she thought it was the coolest freaking thing in the world. My girlfriend at the time, my now wife, worked at Google. I didn't want to not work with my wife, girlfriend at the time. I set these goals so hard and so lofty that my belief is like, if you don't set your goals that high, there's no way you'll reach those high expectations. Meaning right now, I definitely, like I'm sharing with you guys, like I'm on a weight loss journey. I'm down 11 pounds. My goals are pretty high. I can guarantee you if I don't hit my goals, I'll be okay. But if I set them lower, I might not even hit the grades of where I want to give it this high goal. And so I think for me, what I want you guys to take away is like, sit down and make goals. Have a plan. What are those goals? And then why are they important to you? Because you're going to have to remind yourself to make those extra calls, to do the extra work, to stay up late and do whatever, to read a book, to partner, whatever. Because you want it so bad that you're not going to let yourself fail. And that's the way I really set goals to be ahead of recruiting. I did not expect it to happen this fast, to be honest. I didn't expect it, honestly, even to happen at Dropbox. But I was able to put myself in positions, create enough trust, and continue to do the work and partner with everybody so they were crazy enough to think I could do this. And so all you can do is put yourself in those positions to kind of put a bow in this. Like, just because you set your goals high does not mean you'll hit them. And just because you deserve something does not mean you always going to get it. Through Google, I was the number one production over the year, and they wanted to convert me to straight FTE the first time ever at Google. Hiring committee declined because my GCA interview, general cognitive ability, wasn't high enough. So then they converted me to full-time contract, and then I was able to convert that way. But I can tell you a lot of other peers of mine ended up leaving Google, and because they didn't get through the conversion process, or they didn't want to take the full-time contract option because they were better than that. And a lot of them are still hopping contract to contract. And a lot of them are still fighting like the day-to-day stuff. And I stuck with it, and I wasn't mad at Google. I did think they made the wrong decision, but I was going to prove that to them. And it was still important to me. Sorry for my kids young. And it was still important for me to why I wanted to be there was greater than my frustration with that decision. And I think everybody looks at everything in this moment in time. Today, whatever the hell date today is, April 13th, the day after Easter, am I where I need to be? And it's just not possible for you to win at that game every day. Look at where you were 2-3 years ago. Look at where you are now. And then what I challenge you to say is, where do I want to be in 2 or 3 years and why? And that's going to change professionally and personally. My goals have drastically changed now that I have kids. Now, I was married 6 years ago. Before that, my goals were different. You need to reevaluate those things. I would bring people that are important to you in your life in with you, and then set those goals. But set those goals high and drive towards them, and then learn. Just get better. Like, again, the other part is, like, if you map this thing, everyone thinks it's this perfect little straight line to success and happiness. It's just not. And so you're going to have a bad day, and then you're going to have a great day, be stressed. And but as long as that like arrow is going in the right direction, that's what you got to judge yourself on. And so I think for y'all, don't think just about in terms of OEs or OAs or whatever, or even ratings. And I know you're young and I love other things, but like something, and how much money you make. Don't think about how much money you made 2 years ago. Think about where you are now and where you're going to be. So my challenge to you guys is to think bigger, understand your why and why you're doing this stuff, because if that why is strong enough, there's no way you're going to fail. And what I commit to you, I'm sure Kenny and all your leads do too, is like wherever you want to go, like you can create value. I think Vince is a great example. I think LK and OST and all the rest of that is a great example. A lot of these programs didn't exist when I started, but they came, they had ideas, and they grew them, and we give them opportunity. And you're going to learn stuff. You're going to fail fast, screw up, get better at it. If you keep doing the same screw up, that's on you. If you screw up, that's how you learn. And so the leader I want to be, and the person that I want to make sure you guys get from me is, one, authentic, but two, like, I trust you. We all hired you because you're smart, you're capable, you can do whatever you want to do. So set those goals high, drive all the way as fast as you can, screw up along the way and learn, share those screw ups so the person to your right or left doesn't do them again, and make everyone else around you better. That's how you move up. That's how you get what you want. And that's how you grow and move in your career. And what I would challenge you guys to do is really have a clear picture. In quarantine, who cares? Everyone's in quarantine. Like, example of excuses or just excuses. Just work through it. Like, where do you want? What's in your way? And how the heck are you going to get through it or around it? And what's going to make sure you do it every single day? So that's my mantra, I guess, in life. But I wanted to share that with y'all because I am somewhat of an anomaly in the fact that 9 years ago I was a contract sorcerer and I'm sitting in the seat now. But I also give myself credit. Like, it's not just luck. Like, I work really hard. I push myself. There were days where I wanted to quit. There were times where I bet on people that other people wouldn't bet on. There's times that I made decisions on people that other people told me not to. But I could sleep every night. I never made a decision that I couldn't morally justify. And that's the leader that I will continue to be. I don't think there's a leader that I've ever met that admits they don't know what they're doing as much as I admit I don't know what I'm doing at times. But it's the reality. I am learning, I am growing, and I am pushing the envelope every single day. And what inspires me, and I know I said I put a bow in this a minute ago, and now I'm going to put it in it, is why I left that industry is, again, I wanted to be a father. I wanted to be a husband, but I enjoy working with people. I was by myself in San Francisco making more money than I ever should, and I was miserable. And so when I left Google, I mapped title, money, all these things. And the number one thing that's most important to me is working with great people. That's what inspires me. That's what motivates me. That's what drives me. And so what I would encourage y'all is to do something similar. Find what motivates you, get it, push for it. And then once you hit that new level, hey, time to set new goals. Like, it's not like, hey, the shoe's going to drop. Now you're going to go and do something else, and you're going to do something else, and you can do it faster and better, because the difference between, in my opinion, success, whatever that means, happiness, money, whatever, is people stop making excuses. They accept that they failed or whatever happened, and they move on, and they keep going. The sooner you can do that, the more successful you'll be. So I feel like Tony Robbins, who's like one of my favorite people, and for those of you that are actually probably none of you know what this guy. Anybody know who Zig Ziglar is? I know, Kenny, you're my age, so okay, Cash, tell people. So like, I have his tapes. That's how old I am. But Zig Ziglar, and I'll leave you with this. Zig Ziglar would say to y'all, and this is on like his second tape. Okay, guys, I have a private jet that's leaving tonight at 8 o'clock. It's going to take you and 3 of your favorite people to a private island. On that island, there's a chef. There's 24-hour service. There's everything you can dream of. And we're going to spend 10 days there at zero cost to you. Your way to get on that plane tonight at 8 is you have to do all the work that you had to do between Monday and Friday, and your personal work. So you have to go get dry cleaning. You have to clean your house. You have to do the dishes. You got to go to the grocery store. You have to do 5 days work before 8 o'clock tonight to get on that plane. How many of you would actually probably go get that done and be on that plane? Yeah, I'd be there too. So there's always more, and there's always ways to go do that. The difference is between your ears and what you're telling yourself and what you're not telling yourself. So I'm happy to be a soundboard for any of you and help you on that stuff, but it's a very personal journey. It's uncomfortable. That's why most people don't do it. So I will shut up. Thank you for listening to me rant for 19 minutes. And I'm glad this is on BC, because I really do smell, because I just finished working. If any questions, concerns,